Welcome to the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. We discuss 6 questions in less than 9 minutes because leaders know how to be concise. Let's jump right into it. First question, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. My name is Spencer Shaw. I'm the founder of a company called Podkick, and we are a podcast production company. What that means is we make the audio for people sound really good without them having to lift a finger.
Well, that's so ironic that we're here together then, isn't it? So that's perfect. Thank you. Question number 2, what's the best thing about working with a team?
I think that it allows me to do the things that I do best, and for me to bring in others that they can do what they're best at. So it's allowing all of us to play with our strengths. And I follow a philosophy of who, not how.
Mm. That's great. I support that. That's perfect. Question number 3. I hear from other leaders of teams that it can be a challenge to get team members engaged. Tell me your thoughts.
I think if it's the wrong team member, there's maybe no solution to solving that problem. If the person has the wrong mindset, I've found it very rare to be able to change them. Now, if you have someone that is positive, someone that's able to take responsibility for what they're working on, maybe they are off course, or maybe their communication skills aren't on par, or maybe they're still developing some of the skills that they have and some of the disciplines. With the person that has that positive attitude and takes responsibility, then I think it's great and you can get them engaged. For our team, we follow a communication style which is heavily focused on asynchronous communication, which is less meetings and more of messages back and forth. And every single day with our contractors that we work with and employees, we're having people address 3 things, which is, what am I working on today? And what challenges or obstacles do I have? And depending on the day of the week, it's going to be, what did I accomplish yesterday? And just answering that simple stuff, even just those first 2 questions, you're getting a clear pulse on what's going on.
I love that. A great idea. Those 3 points. So thank you. Question number 4, what other piece of advice would you give to leaders of teams?
Let them do what they're good at and get out of the way. I think the role of a CEO needs to be, first and foremost, making sure that there's money in the bank and that the business is growing. And outside of that, I think that there are expertise that people have that maybe sometimes we don't give them credit for. I know my team members, there are a lot of things that they do that I simply don't know how to do. And there are things that they can do better than me. There's also a case where we can follow somewhat of an 80-20. Maybe I'm going to be leaving 20% of my skill set on the table. If I was to do it, I would have to put 100% of my time. If they do it, maybe I get 80% of the results. But am I fine giving up the time commitment? Yes. So I'm fine giving up that gap.
Great insights. Love that. Thank you. Question number 5, what other successful leaders of teams, such as yourself, would you like to recognize or that have had some kind of a positive influence in your life?
You know, I'm going to go off of a couple of people. They actually live in Salt Lake City, where I used to live. One of them, his name is Scott Paul. He runs a company called, what is the company he has now? It's called Wooly, but he's involved with a lot of things. What I admire about him is he's constantly reaching out to his network and he's finding solutions to his problems in real time. So, for example, he just started a mask company and he's trying to get these masks into more people's homes, and it's very innovative. And so he's in real time trying to find distributors and he's trying to find solutions to their mask problems. And so I've been able to connect him with people. Another person that I really admire is Davis Smith. He's the founder of Cotopaxi. He's there in Salt Lake as well. Davis has coupled his purpose of doing good and helping local communities where their products are manufactured, but also incentivizing and could say inspiring people locally here and globally for doing good. And so both of those people have been quite an inspiration for me.
Well, it sounds like it. That's great. Thank you for those names. Well, final question. Tell us about your first job.
Oh man. I think first real job would be working at a bike shop. It was a bike shop that my dad owned. And so I was repairing bicycles and building bicycles and doing sales and a slew of other things. I really enjoyed it. The first real job as an adult, I ended up getting a real estate license, and I sold real estate. And I learned quickly that you have to be very good at listening to people. You have to be even better at marketing, and you have to be even better at focusing on the right things at the right time. And that took quite a while to learn. And I'm glad that it was such a challenge because I developed a lot of skills in the process.
It sounds like it. Those are some great experiences. Well, thank you for sharing those. And Spencer, thank you so much for being on our podcast today. How can people find you?
You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. Just search for my name. You can find me on Twitter at Spencer Shaw, or you can go to our company website, which is Podkick, podkick.com, and you can learn about the podcast company that we have.
Fantastic. This is Sean Richards with the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. For more ideas, you can find us on LinkedIn by searching Blue Sky Business Consulting. Thanks so much for joining us today. Have a great day.
Thanks.